Good morning. Welcome to episode 140 of Fibertown. It's the 4th of February, 2016. I'm Emily, Chain of Fools on Ravelry, and Fibertown with an RE on Instagram, and fibertown.blogspot.com, spelled the same way, and I'm on iTunes and YouTube and, places. Good morning. Welcome. I think this is going to be much shorter than my previous few episodes, because this week has been very busy and not at all like my snowed-in week of cozy crafting. Been working this week and just been a lot going on. My 13-year-old had exams for the first time this week. In fact, they start today, and it's been a whirlwind. At any rate, welcome. We have introductions today. We have a drawing to do. We have a new craft along to talk about. We have 1FO, works in progress, spinning, acquisitions, and we're going to talk about fiber camp. Knitting camp, actually. So, yeah, let's get going. Alice is finishing her breakfast over here. And, I'm hoping to get this done in the next 20 minutes to a half hour. I have more work to do this afternoon out of the house. So, okay, first things first, I'm wearing my Nanook again, which I love, and let me just show you the embroidery. Well, let me show you first. These were little embroidered spots to cover up grease from spinning incidents. There's one right there, and then, I had to show that off. My little Boston. If you're new to the podcast, I have a Boston Terrier, Alice, who likes to come on the show quite a bit. And then on the back, I did these two little bits of embroidery, starbursts. And that I just used some Sashiko thread that I recently got from an Etsy shop to do that. And I actually used the same thread for all three spots. The pink, the blue, the purple, the white. Some kind of good fun. So, now that I've messed up my wonderfully coiffed hair. Hi, Alice is saying hello down here. She's going to come up in a minute. But first I want to say hello and welcome to a wonderful viewer who introduced herself on the introductions thread. And if you would like a shout out, you can also do the same. So this week we have Susanna76. Oh my goodness, there's a cute little chihuahua in her Ravitar. She's Susanna from sunny UK, huh? And she's been knitting and crocheting for more than 20 years, and she's self-taught. Excellent. Thank you for saying kind things about the podcast. Oh, it's helped her motivate herself. And she's loving the community that is out there. Yes, me too. Thank you, Susanna. Wonderful of you. She's from Lancashire in the UK. Welcome. Alice wants to say welcome too. Did you have a good breakfast? Boo-boo-boo? Okay, so the cozy along. I asked Siri who won that one, and her answer was number 188, who is Heather01851, who is a friend of the podcast. Hi, Heather! You won a pattern from Nina, Fuzzy Love Nuts. So let me know when you see this, and I will get in touch with Nina and have her gift you a pattern of your choice from her Ravelry store. She's got beautiful things. She's got a tee. She's got several shawls. I think 5 patterns total, so you should go over and check it out. All right, we have 1FO this week, and it is a sort of a woven sewn one. So I showed you, this is my first core spun from Nunoko Bats. It's this very pebbly core spun with a cotton warp. I wasn't crazy about the warp, but it was super, super, super fun weaving this. And look at all the crazy texture there. Now, I gave it a little twist so it could be Mobius-ish. And then I sewed the ends together, and I'm going to resew the ends because, hi Alice, you're standing up on my lap. I'm going to resew the ends so that it is about this length. There we go. Yay! I just used my sewing machine and did a zigzag stitch, which was fine. The machine did very well with that. There's my seam right here. See that? There it is on the inside. And yeah, I think very soon I'm going to put my other core spun on the loom, and that's a lot of fun. So if you have some funky yarns, funky hand spuns, funky novelty yarns, weave with them. Make a very soft, cozy cowl, scarf, whatever you like. So that's the only FO this week, and I finished that a long time ago. But I have been working again on my doodler. So that is a Stephen West pattern. It was the Mystery Cowl that came out this November. And I had really lost that love and feeling for it. But my friend Flana's finished hers, and I was inspired by the way she did her border. So I actually had considered stopping this after Clue 2 and not doing Clue 3 at all. But I decided to use some scraps to do the border. So I'm on the third wedge of the border, and I'm back to using this dark hazelnut sassafras right here. And in the meantime, I used more hazelnuts, artisan sock, and then the scrap yarn that came in a swap, or maybe someone just sent this to me. This is BB Cakes. Let's see. Mocha's Fiber Designs from Tucker Woods Farm. This is the horse chestnut colorway. So that is that very coppery brown. And then this is Hoppy Blonde from Hazelnuts and Hoppy like in ales. And then more sassafras. And then I'm going to do a garter stitch border after this, and then just a simple bind off. I'm not going to do the doodads. I wanted to say gewgaws and doodads. No, I'm not going to do the doodads that are an option for that shawl. So the other yarn that's in here is Northbound Knitting in the BFL Silk. Isn't that glorious? And that's the Metallurgy colorway. Just glorious. And this is all living in one of my Danby Smiley bags with the Motorini on it. So it's good to pick that up again. It needs to be finished. I have a pattern page for it, but no photo. So I tend to only put photos when I am... Actually, I tend to only do pattern pages when I'm done with a project. And the only reason that there is a pattern page for this is that I thought I was done. But then I wasn't. So the doodler has made me finish it. So I hope it looks good when it's done. I'm not too convinced about that coppery color and doing the 3 colors in the border, but it's all right. It's okay. It's experimenting. Hi. I'm also doing sort of some swatching for a design. Who knows if it'll work out, but I'm using this as my design notebook. And this is from my friend Claire of New Hampshire Knits. Adorable appliqué tweed sheep. There's that tweed sheep. So pretty. So that's going on. I've actually just, I had about this much of it. It wasn't really a swatch, but I decided I wanted to change things a little bit and use a different needle size. That I need to cast that back on because things are going to get crazy, and if I don't cast it back on, it will linger for a while. You were just so lovely today. She's been napping by herself, and now she wants to be with me. Show people your face. She says, no, I want to look adoringly at you while you scratch my shoulders. Okay, so socks. Socks for my husband. He picked the yarn. It's been in my stash a while. I think it was from my friend Angie. It's Mountain Colors, and it's a wool mohair nylon blend. I love this pooling right here as I change the stitch count during the gusset construction. I'm doing the riverbed gusset right there. And I love how it's pooling with a different stitch count. So 64 stitches on a US 1.5, 2.5 millimeters. And then I'm going up to 66 stitches in the foot. So yeah. He wears a US 9 shoe size, so it's not a ton more knitting than I do for me, but it is longer and it is a bit wider. So that's the Gold Rush colorway, and again it was Mountain Colors yarn. That's from Montana, made and dyed in Montana. Okay, the last work in progress is in my sock yarn blanket. I think I only have one new square this week, and it's out of hedgehog fibers. This thing is gigantic. Let me find the square. It's hard with the dog on your lap. Oh, here it is. It is out of hedgehog fibers, which is just glorious yarn. This is the pheasant. Pheasant colorway. It's a 90-10 merino nylon, and I have Sucre Sucre Miniatures coffee stitch marker, and that's to commemorate FaceTime coffee clutches with La Ficker, as I refer to her in my head. La Ficker. Janice Ficker from the Carolina Fiber Girls. We like to drink coffee and talk to each other on the computer and knit. And that was from her. So that's it for works in progress. You know, the sockhead hat out of Woolen Vine Yarns is not been touched. And that's the Dirty on Purpose colorway on her Volca base, which is a MCN, has some cashmere in it. And then the Threshold by Melanie Berg out of More Hazelnuts Artisan Sock in the Quill colorway. That is still just one little row of cast on stitches. But at least they're cast on. So lots of plans, not a lot of crafting. But that's okay, I'll get back to it. Now spinning, let me show you. I have one spindle. I have yet to wind this onto the cop. It's on the temporary cop. This is from Teasel, and it's just a 2-ounce bat of lovely, good, naturally colored fibers. Super soft and squish. And Teasel is Shop Teasel at Big Cartel, Teasel. That's from Kimberly, Knit Country. She is an amazing artisan. I use the pin cushion I bought from her constantly. Her little embroidered sheep towels are in constant decorative use in my kitchen. And her bags are beautiful. She sells yarns. Gorgeous stuff. So this is on a Spanish Peacock Tibetan spindle. And I have the second half of the bat to do now. Now the other spinning is the Fiber Optic Gradient Braid Merino Silk. Here is the card. It's the Chocolate to Cherry Gradient. 80 Merino 20 silk, and 360 yards is what I got. I should write that down. So a nice kind of heavy fingering, light DK. It is chain plied. It came out super well. I'm very, very, very pleased with it. And it would really be nice if I could put you down so I could show the people. Why don't you go look out the window? I see you're looking out the window already. You see squirrels out there? You better go check. Those bad squirrels could be out there. She's like, no. She's digging in her claws. Are you standing up? Are you bipedal now? All right, Peanut. Go check. You can come back later. Okay, so y'all ready to see Chocolate to Cherry? I love this. Let me talk to you about the spinning of this. All right, let's open up this darling, darling skein of yarn. I like to spin woolen, and this is a very worsted preparation. It is a combed top. It's pretty, I wouldn't say it's compact. It is compact, not compacted, but there's really no poofy, airy quality to the top. So what I ended up doing in order to spin this woolen was to spin it from the fold. So just draping the fiber over my knuckle, and then you essentially use it as roving, but it's coming from top. You drape the fiber over your knuckle, and I wish I had some fiber here I could show you with. Oh, I'll show you with this. Spoiler! Spoiler. Okay, just a little bit of a spoiler. Drape it like this, and you just pull from the fold and spin that way. More of that spoiler later. So it just results in a very fluffy, but not too. A lot of people complain that woolen spinning is very it's rustic, and that it is there's too much of a halo sometimes. I guess since the fiber is disorganized, that it creates a lot of fiber sticking out of the yarn, small fibers. But this way, using a worsted preparation and spinning from the fold, it's smooth and shiny and just the slightest bit of a halo. But what you don't compromise any of the nice qualities of the top, but you don't get that dense ropey yarn that you're sometimes in danger of getting if you spin worsted and press all of the air out of it as you're pinching. So it wasn't a completely woolen spin. I did a lot of managing of how should I put that? A lot of managing. It wasn't a one-handed spin, like I guess a true woolen is. I did manage the drafting and the twist a bit with my other hand, while my first one was occupied holding the folded top. So it's just, when I just stopped winding it on the Niddy Noddy, I just wanted to admire it for forever. Came off the Niddy Noddy very well balanced and still is. So I did want to manage the yarn quite a bit because I knew I wanted to chain ply it and I wanted it to be, well, I don't worry about perfection and consistency. You do notice changes in single size a lot more when you have a chain ply, because it's sort of folding back on itself as you ply it. So I think this is going to be knit eventually into an MPG. It seems like the perfect size, the perfect yardage for that. That is one of my designs. It's a multi-purpose garment. I've been wearing my other one constantly this past week. It's a cowl / capelet. You can pull it over your shoulders if you want. And then it has what would you call that? Not a snood. Cowl / capelet. I should know this. I came up with this. Oh my gosh. I've been off today. I don't know if you've noticed. Just kind of not quite myself. All right, there it is. MPG, multi-purpose garment. Wimple. So you can have short rows in the back and you can pull it up over your head as a head covering or a wimple. So yeah, very thrilled with that. Okay, the last two things we have to talk about are acquisitions and Fiber Camp. So spoiler, if you are part of the Highland Handmaids Club this year, you don't want a spoiler, please look away. Okay, because wow, I squealed when I opened this. I am in love with this fiber. What? Not something I would have ever dreamed up myself, but I adore it. It is pitch pine top, 80 merino, 20 dyed black merino, so that's that swirly effect. It is when I was showing you how to spin from the fold, I messed up the ball band. So this is Aurora Australis, so the Southern Lights, as it were. And I think she had a photo inspiration for this. Oh, look at that. There are some really kind of light spots. This is going to be gorgeous, and it really screams fingerless mitts and a hat set to me. I think it's going to be so beautiful. So that is going to go on my wheel. I'm very happy. And there was also a very lovely little lavender sachet that came with it. And yeah, I'm going to get one a month. I have never done any club of any sort before. This is my very first one, and it's very affordable. I think I'm paying $21 a month for a braid, and it's just a nice surprise to come to the door. And I think that includes, does that include shipping? It might, can't remember. So acquisitions, other than that, have all been from kind viewer/friends. And unexpected, so lovely surprises. This first one is a box from Amanda, who is Knit Vision on Ravelry. She just sent me a box of yarn just because. Is there any better thing? So this is Yarny Love, Home is Where the Yarn Is. I've never heard of this. This is a Merino Silk 50/50 in the Peacock colorway. Yarny Love. Amazing. And then look at this one. Scandalous. I've never had Scandalous, but there it is. It's scandalously beautiful yarn. This is Eartha Sock, which is a Merino Bamboo blend in the Elderberry colorway. Totally my colors. This one, Ancient Arts. Look at that. Merino Bamboo Nylon. Again, this is a fingering sock. I think I might dye this. Maybe I should just leave it as it is. I don't know. What do you think? It would make awesome heels and toes and cuffs of socks, but I don't know. Could be dyed. Then, ooh, this one. This one is super cool. This is naturally dyed. This is Sheared Bliss Fibers. And this is just a merino fingering, dyed with indigo and onion skeins. Look how beautiful. Love it. Don't know if there's a colorway name. 425 yards. It's a light fingering. Very nice. And then we have a slew of Ella Rae. Bam! Ella Rae fingering. They call it lace merino, but I don't know why. It's fingering. It's a light fingering, but still a plump, roundy, like 3 or 4 ply. Gorgeous. They all go super well together. They would make an amazing shawl or maybe a weaving project. Amanda, you were too good. You were too good. Thank you so much. Now the other acquisition is from Judy. Judy Banducci. She is a Boston Terrier mama, and hey Judy, like my Boston. And she is a very lovely friend, and we have exchanged packages before. This one was a complete surprise. I'm going to show you what she sent me. And there was a first in here for me that has blown my mind. She sent me some Patons Kroy socks, which is always, always welcome. She sent me a travel coffee mug from her family-run coffee shop. Her kids run it. How awesome. Banducci's. That will get used for sure. She sent me a tin of delicious doggy treats. They look homemade. For Alice. And that's probably why she's hanging out around here. She loves those, Judy. Thank you. This is her dog, Gracie, who I'm pretty sure has passed away. But Gracie. But it looks like she's getting a new Boston this spring. So I'm very, very, very excited for Judy. She sent the whole family an Idaho delicacy. And this is the last one left, because the other 3 people in the family have eaten theirs. This is an Idaho spud. It's not at all what I expected, but the rest has been gobbled up, so I will have to try it too, because judging on their reaction, it was a hit. Now, she also sent me something that has blown my mind, and I will have to take them off to show you. I'll take one off. Can you not scratch me, please? Judy made me socks. I think I probably made a horrendous noise when I saw that. A noise of joy. Look, Judy made me socks. Put it back on. I had no idea that I would feel that way about getting socks. It was just, they're socks. They're hand-knit socks for me. So anyway, I'm going to stop crying now. Thank you, Judy. That was lovely. The last thing I want to talk about is Fiber Camp. And it's coming up next week. Now, there is a snowstorm predicted for Tuesday night, and I just hope it stays away. This year is going to be quite a different group from last year. You will recall last year I got a 4-day knitting extravaganza in my home, and that was with high schoolers that go to the school where my husband teaches. This whole thing was his idea. He said, let's do this together. I will cook. He's an excellent cook. And, he went to a cooking school in France when he lived there. And anyway, so they take a week off of school after exams, and teachers offer courses in something that they're passionate about. Cooking, hiking, going to ice cream shops. There was actually one like that last year. Going to musicals in New York, going to plays in DC. There's a tea-centered one. So we have Fiber Camp, knitting camp. Now last year I had 8 girls. Actually, they were all seniors, so young women. They, I think 2 of them had a little crochet experience, so they had some experience manipulating yarn. They were, they all knew each other. They were kind of ran in the same circles. That was really fun. This year, I only have 5. There were going to be 6, but one has to do something else. Anyway, and 2 of them are young men. They're much younger this year. I think they're freshmen and sophomores, and I don't think any of them really know each other. So, last year I had planned exposure to weaving and spinning and fiber prep, and they just weren't really interested. I gave them a little exposure to that, but they wanted to knit. So I have this philosophy of going with the flow and following their interests. I'm not going to force anything on them. They just wanted to knit and hang out and talk about more knitting and cast on new things and go to yarn stores. And this year, and we did do a dye day, which was super fun. This year, I suspect that things may be a little different. I mean, it's different people. They're going to have go in different directions. So yes, the main focus will be the knitting of the hat. And I'm hoping Jimmy Beans kind of screwed up my order. And I should have cast on these hats by now and gotten the brims done. I do the brims for them, the ribbing, so that they can come here and be immediately successful just knitting around. Then we do decreases. And then their second project, they learn how to cast on and purl. And they can finish that first project within like 3 days. They're done with the hat. Some of them 2 last year. Fingers crossed this year goes the same. I have no lefties this year. I had one last year, and that was a challenge. Alice, I can't let you out right now. Just chill. So, and I kind of feel like the weaving could be a hit this year too. I feel like there's a thing with men and weaving. Men traditionally, women too, but there is a tradition of men being weavers. So I will get the loom warped and let them go at it if they want to. I will show them what to do and just give them all the scraps, and they can make something if they are moved to do so. I did not buy spindles this year, but I will offer up some of my drop spindles if they want to try, as well as the wheel. I will talk about sheep breeds and fiber prep a little bit. They might be interested in the processing equipment. I will not let them use my combs, but they can try the hand cards. They can try the drum carder. And I'll show them my different fleeces that I'm working on. And then we'll go to one yarn store, not 2. So I make a snack every day. Last year, I made scones and baklava. My baklava is excellent. And, just sort of bakery type items that they snack on when they get here in the morning. So they come at about 9:15, 9:30, and they leave at about 2:30 every day. On Wednesday, we'll go to Looped Yarnworks, and they're going to talk to us about the resources that they have there. And that's sort of the neighborhood yarn store of these kids in DC where they go to school. The dye day, I think some of the people coming are I am told that they're chemistry geeks. So I will talk about pH and protein-based fibers and citric acid, and sort of hopefully give a more scientific side of things for those who are into that. And I'm very excited because I got sock blanks. I got double-stranded sock blanks from Wool to Die For, which is a Virginia company. Who knew? I have 10. I had a nice budget for this, not an excessive budget. I had to be careful. I get them a skein of Malabrigo sock yarn, Malabrigo worsted, which is lovely colors and so soft and pleasant to knit a hat with. Would not knit a sweater with it, but they really like the yarn. So we're going to do sock blank dyeing. We are also going to do just plain worsted weight superwash that I got from Knit Picks. I have project bags for them, so I'm very excited to see what they come up with. Because last year's dye day was just inspirational, what they did. Really fun to see what people came up with. So that's the plan. Next week you'll probably see me a little bit. I don't know how much knitting I'll get done because it's very intense for me. I'm constantly helping people, constantly talking, constantly showing, constantly fixing, showing people how to fix also. And but they will also be recording a little blurb about their experience on the last day. And I'm hoping my husband will join some of them. Maybe he'll join the boys because he's been knitting too. He just hasn't wanted to come on here and show. But he said he's going to knit with them next week. He also cooks for them. We do a fondue one day. He makes a paella one day. Crepe. What else did we decide? We'll be out eating out one day too when we go to the yarn store. So it should be lovely. I don't know if we'll have a pajama day. We don't have a TV anymore. So if we had watched a show or a movie, it would have to be on the computer to think about where we could put that. But you want to come and say goodbye? So next week you'll be seeing them as well as me. And then probably the week after that, you'll be seeing my friend Sarah come on with her West knitting that she's going to do once a month on Fibertown. Do you like Sarah? She says, yes, I like Sarah. Sarah is my friend. So we hope that you all have a very lovely day, a lovely weekend, that you have cuddly, cozy knitting. Oh, and that you also enter in the Compassion Along. Compassion is the word for February, so check out the thread on Rav. All right, kitty cat. You don't want to get down. All right, I'll hold you. All right, till next time, y'all take care.